Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all well. Apologies for the lack of a full-length episode of the podcast today, but we'll be back tomorrow, Saturday morning, with a live stream. So make sure you come and join me for that one. We'll be kicking off at 10:30 a.m., which is a little bit earlier than normal, but it is what it is. And I'll be bringing you, of course, all the latest Arsenal transfer-related news. We'll be diving in to the biggest Arsenal-related stories. And as always, there'll be plenty to chat about. But I thought it worth jumping on this evening for a very, very short update video. And that is with regards to Arsenal target Lisandro Martinez. Now, we've already had to walk away from a target in the last few days. When we heard that Chelsea had come in for Rafinha, that kind of ended it for most of us in terms of our hopes of Rafinha coming to the club. And it looks as though Chelsea, who hijacked the deal with us, are now being hijacked by Barcelona, the players, of course, preferred destination. So it very much does look like now Barcelona are closing in on an agreement with Leeds United that will see Rafinha end up at the club of his choice and essentially snubbing Chelsea. Makes me feel a little bit better about it, I guess. But the main reason we're here tonight, as I say, is to talk about Lisandro Martinez. Now, when we heard that the Rafinha deal was seemingly off, everybody's attention and focus turned to Lisandro Martinez, who we were told is a top priority target for Arsenal during this window. And we've spoken at length on numerous episodes about what he would bring to the table. Versatility, experience, technical ability. He brings so much to the party, does Lisandro Martinez. And over the last few days, we've grown increasingly more concerned by the fact that it seems Manchester United are keen on the player as well. Now, of course, Lisandro Martinez has a relationship with new United boss Erik Ten Hag. The pair work together at Ajax. They both know each other inside out. And there was a lot of feeling around that if Manchester United were to step up their interest in the player, Arsenal would have a battle on their hands. And our worst nightmares appear to be turning into something of a reality, because David Ornstein, the Ornacle, has recently tweeted the following. Now, the main topic of this tweet is, of course, about Tyrell Malacia, who Manchester United are about to sign on a 4-year contract with the option of a 5th from Feyenoord. However, in this same tweet, in this same report, David Ornstein says the following. Manchester United are now trying to reach an agreement with Ajax for Arsenal target Lisandro Martinez, and he is keen. The pursuits for De Jong and Eriksen continue. If we go into the actual article and dig into this a little bit deeper and try and make a little bit more sense of it. Okay, so United are interested and the player is said to be keen. Where are we at, though, between the two clubs? Because we know that Arsenal have made one, maybe two offers for Lisandro Martinez that have both been rebuffed by the Dutch giants. So this is what David Ornstein has to say in the piece. United are now seeking to reach an agreement with Ajax to sign Lisandro Martinez, and it is believed they have now established themselves as the favourite for the Argentine amid competition for Arsenal. Advanced negotiations are taking place between United and Ajax, with the player believed to be keen on a reunion with his former coach, Erik Ten Hag. So it looks as though that is going to be the deciding factor. And unfortunately, these things do matter. These things do play a part. Think about Gabriel Jesus to Arsenal, which they still haven't announced, by the way, at the time of recording. It's driving me absolutely bonkers. If I have to read another Jesus pun on Twitter from an Arsenal fan trying to urge the club to hurry up, I'm going to go crazy. Maybe they'll do it at 9 o'clock, signifying his new squad number. I don't know, who knows. Maybe we'll have to wait till tomorrow. Maybe we'll have to wait till Monday. God, please, get it over and done with. But going back to this situation, you know, we managed to get a player in Gabriel Jesus because of a manager relationship, a relationship between the player, Mikel Arteta, and of course a relationship with Edu as well. And it worked in our favour that time. This time it looks as though it's going to work against us, because Lisandro Martinez is apparently very, very keen, as I say, on going to work with Erik Ten Hag again. And this was always going to be a difficult deal to do if Manchester United were to enter the mix. And at the start of the transfer window, we were hearing heavy links between United and Jurrien Timber. And that kind of gave me encouragement that actually maybe when we'd first heard about Lisandro Martinez being one of our targets, I kept thinking, well, maybe they'll pursue Timber, leaving the door open for us to go after Lisandro Martinez, but it looks as though that isn't going to be the case. And, you know, no matter how much you back the club, no matter how much you support the project, no matter how much you think we're doing the right things behind the scenes and moving in the right direction, I'd be disingenuous, dishonest if I was to sit here now and say this is not getting a little bit frustrating. It is. 2 targets that Arsenal identified are players now that we're set to miss out on. And it does irritate. It does get under the skin. And you've got to start to wonder now why it is that we can't close these deals. Do we have other targets? I'm sure we do. Are there other targets on the agenda that maybe the press haven't necessarily got hold of in terms of their names yet? And so we haven't heard about them yet. We never heard anything about Fabio Vieira, but we got that deal done pretty sharpish and pretty quickish. So I'm not sitting here saying we've definitely got no other targets and this is a disaster and a catastrophe and we should be losing our minds. But by that same token, I can't pretend that I'm okay with this. I can't pretend that it's absolutely fine to keep getting beaten for players that we want. You know, and this is an issue. You know, where are these? First of all, it might not be necessarily from Arsenal's end, but these stories are getting out, you know, in some way, shape or form, often leaked by agents so that they can drive bidding wars and get higher prices for their players and therefore get more money in their pockets. We all know how it works. We all know it's a real grubby world, football, particularly behind the scenes. So, you know, you probably can't always stop that, but it just feels like we take an age to do everything. It just feels like we move too slow. And I know I've said it many, many times that it's not always in your hands. It's not always within your power to get the deal over the line. And we've seen that many, many times over the years, that sometimes other factors can cause delays, can cause problems. And again, I totally understand that. I totally get that. But we've known for a couple of weeks now what it's going to take to get Lisandro Martinez out of Ajax. So we could have made that offer prior. We could have made that offer earlier. We could have potentially wrapped up a deal before Manchester United got their asses in gear and got to the point where they are now, where they're seriously pushing for the player. And maybe they were looking at him anyway. Maybe they'd have been notified if Arsenal had done that. And maybe they'd have entered the race anyway. But it just doesn't feel like we're doing everything within our power to close these deals as quickly, as swiftly, and as ruthlessly, I guess, as possible. I kind of understood it with Rafinha because I didn't think that £65 million was a fair price for Rafinha. I said it on numerous episodes of the podcast. I said it on live streams. I said it pretty much anywhere I spoke. I like the player. I rate the player. I think he would have been a very, very good addition, but £65 million was too much. In the case of Lisandro Martinez, though, I don't think that Ajax are asking too much in today's market. And when you take into consideration the versatility that I've spoken about, the versatility that I keep referring to when talking about Lisandro Martinez, I think he's good value for money. And so I will be frustrated if we don't get this deal done because we weren't willing to go that extra few yards with regards to the price. As I say, with Rafinha, I was okay with it because my first reaction when I heard the asking price was, whoa, that's a bit steep. Let's see how far Arsenal go with this. But with Lisandro, I don't think the price that Ajax are asking for is ridiculous. I don't think it's crazy. I don't think it's unreasonable. And so I will be disappointed if Arsenal don't get this over the line. And I'm already disappointed that Arsenal haven't made that move quicker so that we can advance the negotiations earlier and perhaps could have been in a position where we were able to steal the player, take the player from under everybody else's noses. Now we've got a battle on our hands, and if what we're reading is to be believed, I beg your pardon, then it looks as though Lisandro Martinez is going to end up at Manchester United, and that is going to be really, really disappointing. Who are the alternatives? We don't know. Currently in the process of putting together a couple of shows to bring you guys over the weekend. We're going to be talking about alternatives to Rafinha. I didn't really want to make this episode, but we're probably going to have to make an episode discussing alternatives to Lisandro Martinez as well. Not great news coming out this evening. Frustrating times. Please do hit the like button. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. I very, very much appreciate it. Thank you for all your continued support of the channel. Subscribe, like, you know the drill by now. And if you want to enter our giveaway go over to @Chronicles_AFC on Twitter. Check out the pinned tweet and follow the instructions. Thank you very much. Catch you all soon.